Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now, we want to present our tutorial 1 for wireless communication. Our group members are IRIANA binti PILUS, NORSHAZIRA binti SHAHRUNI, and FARHANA binti MESKON. For the question 1, what is wireless communication? Wireless communication is a type of data communication that is performed and delivered wirelessly. It involves the transmission of information over a distance without help of wires, cables, or any other forms of electrical conductors. Here have two examples of wireless communication. The first one is remote garage door openers. As in the picture, is the one of the oldest wireless device in common use by consumers and usually operates at radio frequencies. The second one is global positioning system, that is GPS. It allows drivers of cars and trucks, captains of boats and ships, also pilot of aircraft to ascertain their location anywhere on Earth. For the question number 2, briefly explain types of wireless communication. Here have 3 types of wireless communication: Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and also infrared. For Bluetooth, it is a proprietary open wireless technology standard for exchanging data over short distance that using short wavelength radio transmission from fixed and mobile device, creating personal area networks with high levels of security. Bluetooth also is a high-speed, low-power microwave wireless link technology designed to connect phones, laptop, PDAs, and other portable equipment together with little or no work by the user. Also is the name for a short-range radio frequency, that is RF technology, that operates at 2.4 GHz and is capable of transmitting voice and data. It is also known as the IEEE 802.15 standards. The second one is Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a brand originally licensed by the Wi-Fi Alliance to describe the underlying technology of wireless local area network based on the IEEE 802.11 specification. This is the standard. The typical Wi-Fi setup contains one or more access points and one or more clients. An access point broadcast its SSID, that is the service set identifier, and the network name via packets that are called beacons, which are broadcast every 100 milliseconds. The beacons are transmitted at 1 megabit per second and are of relatively short duration. Since 1 megabit per second is the lowest rate of Wi-Fi, it is assured that the client who receives the beacon can communicate at least 1 megabit per second. The third one is infrared. Infrared is a technology that uses infrared radiation for wireless transmission between computer device as well as many handheld remotes for TVs and video and stereo equipment. Computer infrared network adapters both transmit and receive data through ports on the rear or side of device. Infrared adapters are installed in many laptops and handheld personal device. In Microsoft Windows, infrared connection can be created through the same method as other local area network. And lastly, in the electromagnetic spectrum, infrared radiation lies between microwave and visible light. Therefore, they can be used as a source of communication. For the question number 3, explain the electromagnetic spectrum. The electromagnetic spectrum is the range of all possible frequencies of electromagnetic radiation. As the frequency of an electromagnetic wave increases, its wavelength also decreases. In any frequency, electromagnetic wave travel through a vacuum at the speed of light. When traveling through a medium, the speed of electromagnetic wave decrease. Okay. Here is the range for electromagnetic spectrum that usually used by subscriber. For example, the cordless phone usually use 40 to 50 megahertz, also 900 megahertz. It also can be 2.4 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz. For public safety, for example, fire, police, ambulance, usually use 849 until 869 megahertz. And for satellite radio, use 2.3 gigahertz. And also microwave ovens use 2.4 gigahertz.
Moving on to question 4, a brief history of wireless communication development. I will focus only on one inventor of wireless communication, which is an Italian inventor and engineer, Guglielmo Marconi, from 1874 to 1937. He has developed, demonstrated, and marketed the first successful long-distance wireless telegraph, and in 1901, he broadcast the first transatlantic radio signal. In 1909, he shared the Nobel Prize in Physics for his radio work. In 1896, he was granted the world's first patent for a system of wireless telegraphy. And after successfully demonstrating the system's ability to transmit radio signals in London, on Salisbury Plain, and across the Bristol Channel, he established the Wireless Telegraph and Signal Company Limited in July 1897. And then later, this company was renamed as Marconi's Wireless Telegraph Company Limited in 1990. In 1899, he established a wireless link between Britain and France across the English Channel. Further, he established permanent wireless stations at the Needles, Isle of Wight, Bournemouth, and later at the Heaven Hotel in Poole, Dorset. The following year, he received his patent for tuned or systolic telegraphy. During December 1901, Marconi proved that wireless signals were unaffected by the curvature of the Earth. He transmitted the first wireless signals across the Atlantic between Poldhu, Cornwall, and St. John's, Newfoundland, a distance of 2,100 miles. Next, for question 5, why wireless communication? The advantages of wireless communication is number 1, radio waves travel freely through the air, which contributes in wireless modes of communication that provide a great deal of mobility. For example, we can listen to a radio at the beach. For second advantage is for a traditional analog system such as AM radio broadcasting, a wireless transmitter accommodates any number of receivers. For example, it doesn't matter if 10 people or 10,000 tune in to the local baseball game. For the third advantage is that wireless communications networks are less expensive to install and maintain than equivalent wired systems. That is very inconvenient that the user have to pay the per foot cost of the cable and also need to invest time and labor to plan wiring roads and put the wire in place. Although even wireless systems need some cabling, the amount involved is a small fraction of that needed for wired equipment.
Continue for the question 6. What the important challenges in the wireless communications? In the wireless communications, have a is multi-part propagations, spectral limitation and limited energy. Multi-part communications propagations is reflected of the signal to the building, mountain or the other reflected surface before carried to the mobile phones. Multi-part propagation have two bending, which is small scalar bending and large scalar bending, and inter-symbol interference for the spectral limitations, such as limitation for the Catholic TV for 11 to 15 gigahertz, wireless LANs 4.8 to 5.8 gigahertz wireless LAN, and for the fixed wireless access system 3.3 to 3.8 gigahertz. For the limited energy have a two, which is power amplifier for linear and non-linear. Non-linear amplifier has large 15% efficiency, but linear amplifier is not. For the receiver sensitivity, minimum requires receive power. For the receive power for GSM DS is negative 100 dBm. If GSM DS negative 18 dBs, which is 100 times larger, transmitter power is 100 times larger, and battery have 100 times more capacity. Okay, for the questions 7, explain the difference of wireless and mobile. For the wireless is technology used to achieve mobility in mobile communications. For the reflected communications without wire and needs an